Welcome to the Blue Cafe. We bring you stories of faith, love, and devotion. Yeah, just kidding, please help us grow by hitting that like button. Now on to the story. Saw my best friend's dad kissing the person he's in love with. Hey, I'm 19M, my friend A is 19 meters too and has feelings for our other friend P who's 18F and who we've known our whole lives. Last night I was walking from my job back to campus when I saw P going back into the dorms with a guy wearing a hoodie. I was going to shout out to her but then I saw the guy wrap his arms around her and kiss her goodbye. After he turned around it took me a second to recognize him because he's normally dressed differently, but it was his dad for sure. Told me last year he had feelings for P and apparently he's had them for a while but hasn't said anything to her because she's said she's not interested in dating while she's here because she's on a scholarship and needs to keep up her grades. As parents are married and he has younger siblings, I don't know if I should tell him what I saw or stay out of it. I think I'd want to know but I've never been in a situation like this so I don't know. Tell him so he can let his mum know she's married to a ducking creep. It's really ducking creepy, right? Has A's dad known P since she was a child? Yeah, he's known her since his family moved here when we were like 4. Gross. Full on creep. Start with telling your parents so they can advise on how to approach this. A's mum definitely needs to be told. And I imagine P's parents will lose their shit when they find out. How long ago did P turn 18? Her birthday was over the summer. My parents are both friends with his parents so I know if I tell them everyone will know. That's ducking disgusting. You need to out this. I'm going to talk to my parents tomorrow. Smart move. You're still very young and clearly have no idea what to do. Hopefully your parents are more experienced at handling delicate situations. TBH, I'm 33 and I would have blown the whole thing up immediately. Well, it's weird AF because I'm out with both of them now. Out with your friends? Good thing you're not me because I would be dropping major hints like asking her if she's into older men etc. And I'm not trying to get myself in a mess like that, it's harder to not tell A about it, he has no idea I feel bad he's super into her. Normally I'm a mind your business kind of person but she's 18, he's known her his entire life, and he's married with kids. Red flags all over. How old is he? I don't know exactly how old, I know he's younger than my dad who's 42 but not by much. Update, saw my best friend's dad kissing the person he's in love with. Update to this post. I had every intention of telling my parents and getting their advice. But then they invited me out. For a big part of the night P was there with us. We had a few drinks and after P left A was basically saying how they had hung out earlier in the day, how he was going to tell her about his feelings for her, etc. I ended up telling him about what I saw, but I told him I had literally zero context and didn't know what the exact situation was. He thought I was messing with him at first, he thought I was pulling a prank. We went to P's room and he was like, "Are you F-ing my dad? I need you to look me in the eyes and tell me you aren't F-ing my dad." And she immediately started crying, saying that she felt horrible for what she was doing and she felt horrible for lying to us and hurting us family and mom, but it just started happening and she didn't know how to stop it from happening. A was really mad, he told her it was disgusting, he's known her since she was a kid. P was just sobbing and kept apologizing over and over, so we thought it was for the best if we left and let her roommate calm her down. I tried to calm A down but then he called his mom and was just like, "Did you know dad was sleeping with P?" And she thought he was messing with her and she kept asking him how much he'd had to drink, but she finally realized he was telling the truth and I could hear her yell through the other side of the phone, "I guess to his dad, is this the truth? Is he telling the truth?" So the aftermath of all of this is that his dad was kicked out of his house, his mom is next level pissed, destroying his shit level pissed. P's parents are pissed too. Apparently the altercation his dad had with her dad didn't end well. It wasn't physical or anything, just ugly, I heard. I don't know when the relationship started, but I guess the timing is suspicious enough that the cops came and talked to P, who is doing alright but just mainly wants to be left alone right now. A is still pissed. He's blowing off classes and binge drinking and said he doesn't plan on stopping until he forgets about his pathetic father. All of this sucks, but I know I couldn't have kept this from A. He's my best friend and I couldn't keep that from him. I know some people think I should have kept my mouth shut, but I think that would be a pretty shitty thing to do to a friend. You did the hard yet right thing, Op. I'm sorry for your friend. Thanks. He's not handling it well, but hopefully he'll pull it together. Have him talk to the school to arrange for a semester off or something. If he's not handling things well, getting booted or flunking out is going to make things worse. I hope so. Binge drinking isn't gonna help him. He can't forget his Pa's father. He is gonna need therapy. Yeah, I'm going to work on warming him up to therapy. You're a good friend, Op. Telling him while drinking wasn't the perfect timing, but it's still much better than saying nothing at all. You're a good friend. Just so he doesn't mess up academically, maybe tell him to speak with the school advisor as well if he wants to put the semester on hold, or at least let his professors know something very personal is going on, that he can't make it to classes. Obviously he doesn't need to tell them what happened. Op, I'm proud of what you did. You've saved your friend P from a very uncomfortable and inappropriate relationship. A and his mum needed to know the truth. Now you are supporting them both through the aftermath. Don't forget to check in with your own parents, as you will need support too. I hope they are proud of you too. You are a good friend. Make sure A doesn't go off the rails. Maybe check in with P on the sly too, because this is a lot for everyone. She's doing alright. She doesn't want to talk much. You did the right thing, but it's clear they were going to keep ducking around in secret, and neither A's dad or P were going to come clean. Respecting and telling him you were showing him loyalty, respect and love both for him and his family. He is going through a lot right now. Is he going to be pissed off that you have and then trigger some of his anger out? To be prepared for that, because it's going to happen. Be there for him, let him cry on your shoulder, be his Achilles heel, because he's going to need you again. You did the right thing, okay? You did the right thing. Thanks a lot. You welcome, man, and encourage your friend to get into therapy, because he's going to need it in a lot of it. If he's comfortable, you can go with him as support. Yeah, I'm going to work on it. Dad cheated on my mom with the girl he knew I had feelings for. My friend told me to post on here. Friend Louis told me to post on here. Said it helped him out. People talked sense into him. My dad cheated on my mom and slept with the girl I've been in love with for 3 fucking years. He knew about it too, I told him. And he looked me in the eyes, patted me on the shoulder and said to be myself and some other fake fatherly bullshit, when he knew the whole time he was ducking her. Or planning on it. And as for her, I'm ducking done with her. You can say whatever you want. She sat across from my mom and my little sisters and let my mom feed her and take care of her the whole time she knew she was ruining her marriage. All of the times she slept over our house, and I stupidly thought that she was going braless or wearing short pajamas to kind of tease me, but nope, it was apparently for my dad. And I know she's young and he's old, and ducked up shit probably happened, but it doesn't take a rocket scientist to know not to sleep with a married guy if you've been brainwashed or not. I went to a therapist who was an idiot and told me to forgive my father. I cursed him out, so I doubt I'll be welcome back there again. I'm sick of having the same DNA as that asshole. I'm sick of feeling sad over losing her as a friend because she's an idiot and I hate her. Louis says I'm drinking too much, but it's the only way I can handle living without losing my shit. Ah, okay, I read your friend's post. Yes, you should stop drinking, it's an unhealthy coping mechanism. Yes, you should try a different therapist. The amount of anger you have has to be worked through. If not, you let your dad ruin the rest of your life as a result. Don't let him do that because you want to hold on to your anger. You don't have to forgive or ever talk to him again. You should work through your feelings so you feel better someday. Is this the A&P one? Dad screwed a barely 18 family friend? Yep. Did your friend post here that he had seen them kissing and then told you? Yeah. He's the one who told me to post on here. My guess is your dad may be a narcissist. It's clearly all about him. Go take a look at r/raised by narcissists as a sub where you could get support for dealing with having such a crappy parent. How is the girl doing? Your friend said the police talked to her. Are they looking at your dad for grooming her? Thanks for that, I'll look into it. I don't really know how she is. Last I heard she's really upset, probably because her secret relationship got found out. They're not looking at home for grooming. I think they're looking at him for bringing a minor over state lines. Good. He's a predator. There needs to be consequences. She's probably also a mess because of the shame. From what your friend wrote, she can't face any of your friend group. Yeah, well, she should feel shame. I guess my dad is the bad guy here, but she did ducked up stuff too. She lied to all of us. I'm really sorry for what you're going through, man. Your therapist is shit. Just like every other profession, there are good and bad. You just need to find the good. Maybe your therapist asked you to forgive so that you can stop suffering, but you don't need to have a relationship with those that hurt you. BTW, what is your dad's reaction to all this? Does he regret losing all of you? Is he still dating your friend? I don't know how he feels. He probably doesn't care. I haven't spoken to him and don't plan on it. I don't know if they're still dating. They deserve each other. Just saying, if he says he's sorry and regret it, remember he only regrets being caught. If your friend didn't catch him, he would continue looking you in the eye and give you advice while still ducking her. Besides, he's a creep and it is very possible that your father groomed her. It's completely reasonable for you to not have a relationship with her. He's not your problem anymore. You can eventually forgive him for yourself, to let the anger and pain go, but can't forgive and shouldn't have a relationship with the people that betrayed you. There are something you never come back from. He knew he was destroying your family and betraying you while doing it. Remember that. Find a good therapist. There are thousands of utterly shit ones, but a good one will get your thoughts and feelings in order and give you some peace. I really don't feel like searching through all of the shit ones to find a good one. To be told what my dad did was ducked up. I know that already. A good therapist is nothing about anyone else other than you. It's about helping deal with your internal processes to get everything you feel to a place where it doesn't hurt as much and you aren't overwhelmed by emotion when you think of it. My internal process is that my father is a ducking asshole who needs to die. Update: Dad cheated on my mom with the girl he knew I had feelings for. First post. So I stopped drinking on Friday. Sobered up a bit and felt kind of like shit. About everything. Got a few attitude checks about how I was putting a lot of blame on her. And not so much my dad. Which pissed me off because I'm so much more angry at my dad, but then I realized that I was focusing a lot more of my anger at her. Because that was easier to wrap my head around. It felt really good to call her ducked up names and blame her and just avoid realizing that the guy who I've literally shaped my entire sense of self around blew up our family and doesn't give a shit. My mom has a lawyer already and seems to be putting all of her angry feelings towards getting the divorce over as quickly and neatly as possible. She doesn't think custody is going to be an issue because first of all my sisters don't want anything to do with my dad, and second off it looks pretty likely he's going to get hit with some charges. I don't know exactly what the charges will be or the sentence. But he definitely took her over state lines without her parents' permission before she turned 18. They have proof of that. So at the very least he'll get something for that. My mom found phone records that the two of them started texting almost 3 years ago. As of right now there's no proof of anything more than talking, and the age of consent in our state is 16, so even though apparently there's a pretty graphic note our mom found he wrote her that was from 2 years ago that makes it seem like that's when the relationship started. The cops said there's not much they can do about that. My mom said that there were pictures sent between the two of them but none of them were nudes or explicitly sexual, but my mom is pretty sure he just hid those better. Yeah, so I started thinking about how ducking dumb I was when I was 15 and how easily my dad was able to trick us into thinking he wasn't a piece of shit, and I realized she was just tricked into believing he wasn't a piece of shit just like I was. Except he probably laid it on extra thick with her since he was trying to bang her. And all of the how the duck could she do this to me and to my family questions kind of resolved themselves in my head. So I ended up going to her dorm intending on ending the friendship, but also telling her that I didn't hate her or anything, or actually think all of the bad stuff people were probably telling her I was saying about her over the last few days. And once she let me in and I started talking, she just started sobbing, saying that she hadn't meant for any of it to happen, she hadn't known how to stop it, but she was also saying that she didn't want my dad to get in trouble and she didn't want to talk to the cops. She thinks her parents are going to pull her out of school over it, and at this point she was having a full-blown panic attack, so I calmed her down and she basically told me that at first my dad was really nice to her and bought her stuff on the day whenever she would tell him she wanted to stop or say that she felt bad about it he'd get really controlling and angry, and I could see that because my dad can get pretty controlling sometimes. But yeah, we talked a lot. I feel bad for her. She seems really messed up about all of this. Like, she knows my dad ducked up but she still doesn't want him to get in trouble for it. It's messed up. When I told her we couldn't be friends anymore she got really upset but said she understood and figured that was going to happen. She said she was happy that we talked though. It all seems so ducked up. She was my best friend and my dad ruined that for me too along with my family. And we literally just bought an Xbox to game together in the rec room. The entire situation sucks. Last thing, a lot of people were shocked to the point of disbelief when I said I had seen a therapist, and that there's no way I could have gotten an appointment so soon. My school has a therapist, the one I saw who sucked, and we have a ton of therapists around here, mostly graduates from the college. But literally me and my mom and sisters all saw therapists within a few days. I thought that was pretty common, but I guess it's just the area. Just wanted to commend you on taking the advice from the previous posts since I know you had a lot coming at you. Continue going to therapy, lean on your family and really watch out for your sisters. Put your former friend out of mind. While I hope she gets help that is on her to manage, you have to focus on your own healing. Thanks. I might try to find a new therapist down the line. I'm trying to put her out of my mind. It isn't working well. It's been such a little amount of time. Take it day by day. Your father groomed her well if she doesn't want to talk to the police. I'm glad you are able to clear your head a bit and your mom is doing what she needs to do. At some point your former friend needs to realize what was done to her, and your father needs to be charged. He is a predator and a sick sob going after young girls. He's going to get charged with something. If she talks to the cops he'll get charged with a lot more. The woman I am married to was groomed much like your ex. She even married the guy after she turned 18. She eventually got out because she started seeing it all for what it was as she got older, but even then it took a lot of time and effort to openly admit or discuss the specifics of how it was done and the layers of crazy shit that went into keeping her from speaking out. It's a mind duck that many adults couldn't handle, let alone someone young, naive, and vulnerable. Your ex very well may not understand it herself yet, which can contribute to not wanting to share it with anyone else even well after the fact. Convince her to talk, that it's not her fault. This guy betrayed his whole family, wife and children while being a child abuser. Under the jail, no sunlight, duck this guy up. Years of constant betrayal and illegal activity. Ducking soulless, the type of guy who kills their mother for the insurance money. Duck. Like, she knows my dad ducked up but she still doesn't want him to get in trouble for it. It's messed up. I think it's called a Stockholm Syndrome. You're a good guy. You came to the right conclusion much sooner than most would. It's good that you talked to her and let her tell her story. She was definitely groomed. I hope you'll be kind and mindful of mutual friends who will be supporting her through this. I hope your dad gets hit with charges. He deserves to rot in hell. Look into speaking to a different therapist. This won't go away and you'll need professional help. Well done on staying away from the booze. Keep that up. Thanks. He'll get it with something unless he manages to find a way out of it. If she'd talk to the cops he might get hit with more. Based on your account, it sounds like he groomed her. It's pretty scummy, definitely premeditated, and it sounds like he hurt her pretty badly too. I'm so sorry this happened. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what happened. We hope that by sharing these stories with interested folks like you, we can help people recognize the signs of a relationship in trouble, and avoid so many of these heartbreaking situations yourselves. Have a good day or night, wherever you are.